So we are discussing about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord Ramchandra, and we are checking out the chapter 10 of Canto 9. We'll start with the Mangalacharana prayers. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Visesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Namasrishtham Manumapi Sachiputra Swarupam Rupam Tasyagrajamurupurim Madhurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasyam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi Krishna Danyamajanatakshanamapi Swapnepi Vishveshware Tasmin Bhakti Mahaitu Kim Vidadatu Hritkaya Vagbisada Shrilan Sadguna Punjake Ninilayan Premavataranaham Vande Bhagavatani Mamanulevam Mudnani Pratyakshitau Ajanulambita Bhujau Kanakavadatou Sankirtanaikapitaro Kamalayatachau Vishwambarau Dvijavarau Yugadharma Palau Vande Jagat Priyakarau Karunavatarau Jayatam Suratau Pangor Mama Mandamatir Gati Matsarvasva Padambojau Radha Madana Mohanau Neelachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannadayate Namaha Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutiryasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunadhaya Nadaya Sitaye Pataye Namaha Purusho Ramacharitam Shravanairupadharayan Anishyam Suparo Rajan Karma Bandhai Vimuchyate Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So in this section, the first 32 verses are related to Lord Rama kills Devan Ramana and Lord Rama's coronation as the king of Ayodhya, and later the 5 verses explain about Sri Rama Rajya. So because it is most the thing is in story format, we will try to go quickly today. And we have paused at a point where Ravana has kidnapped Mother Sita when Rama was not nearby. So from there we will start today. Dadvatmakritya hatakritya maham kabandam sakyam vidaya kapibhirdaita gatim taihi budvantavalini hate plavagendra sainyai Velamagat Samanujo Chabavarchitangrihi. So Lord Ramachandra, whose lotus feet are worshipped by Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, had assumed the form of human being. Thus he performed funeral ceremony of Jatayu, who was killed by Ravana. Lord then killed the demon Kabanda, and after making friends with the monkey chiefs, King Vali, and arranging for the deliverance of Mother Sita, he went to the beach of ocean. So here Lord Rama, he is like Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva praise Lord Rama. That Supreme Lord has taken a human birth. And here he is setting the expectations for every one of us. So here he is performing the funeral ceremony of Jatayu. So performing the funeral ceremony is having very much importance. And later Lord had made friends with monkey chiefs, and who is King Vali, and again here he moved forward so that he can deliver Mother Sita from the demon Ravana. So he went on to the ocean. यद्रोष विभ्रम विवृत्त कटाक्षपाता संभ्रांत नक्र मकरोभ्य गीर्ण घोषहै सिंधु शिरस्यर्हनं प्रतिगृह्य रूपी पादारविन्दमुपगम्य भवास एतत्. So after reaching the beach, Lord Ramachandra fasted for 3 days, awaiting the arrival of ocean personified. So we all know that Rama has performed or he was requesting ocean to show him some path so that he can reach out to Lanka from the point where he is. And when the ocean did not come, Lord exhibited his pastimes of anger, and simply by his glancing over ocean, all the living entities within it, including the crocodiles, sharks, were agitated by fear. So this is the Supreme Lord. He, just by his anger, entire ocean was shaken, and all the inhabitants inside that ocean are agitated in fear. Then the personified ocean fearfully approached Ramachandra. Then the Samudra Devata has approached Lord Rama, taking all paraphernalia to worship him, falling at Lord's lotus feet. The personified ocean spoke as follows. So when Lord got angry, Samudra Devata has come over there and took shelter of him. Natvam vayam jadadiyo no vidhama bhuman kutastamadi purusham jagatamadisham yatsatvatah suragana rajasa prajesha manyosya bhutapataya sabhavan gunesha. All pervading Supreme Person, we are dull-minded and did not understand who you are. But now we understand that you are that Supreme Person, the master of the entire universe, the unchanging and original personality of Godhead. The demigods are infatuated with the mode of goodness, the Prajapatis with the mode of passion, and the Lord of ghosts with the mode of ignorance. But you are the master of all these three qualities. So here Samudra Devata is offering his prayers to the Lord. He said, first I thought that you are normal human, but now I understand that you are the Supreme Lord and you are the master of the three gunas. So the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, you are not under the control of any of the three gunas, but you are the master. Gunas cannot affect you. You are transcendent to that. Kamam prayahi jahi vishwaraso vameham trailokya ravanam avapnuhi veerapatnim badnihi setum ihate yasaso vitatte gayanti digvijayino yamupetya bhupaha. So prayer continues. My Lord, you may use my water as you like. Indeed, you may cross it and go to the abode of Ravana, who is the great source of disturbance and crying for the three worlds. He's saying, you may use my water however you may want. You can cross and you can go there. He is the son of Vishrava, but is condemned like urine. Please go kill him and thus regain your wife, Sita Devi. O great hero, although my water presents no impediment to your going Lanka, please construct a bridge over it to spread your transcendental fame. Upon seeing this wonderfully uncommon deed of your lordship, all the great heroes and kings in future will glorify you. So here Samudra Devata is saying, see, my water will not cause you any disturbance. You can happily go there. But I request you so that you can construct a bridge on top of my ocean so that all the future generations will be glorifying you for this transcendental pastime. Badvo dadau raghupatir vividhari kutaihi setum kapindra karakampita bruhu hangaihi Sugriva Neela Hanumat Pramukai Anikai Lankam Vibhishana Drishabhishad Agradadham. Then Sukadeva Goswami said, after constructing a bridge over ocean by throwing into the water the peaks of the mountains, whose trees and other vegetation had been shaken by the hands of great monkeys, Lord Ramachandra went to Lanka to release Sita Devi from the clutches of Ravana with the direction and help of Vibhishana, Ravana's brother. The Lord, along with the monkey soldiers headed by Sugriva, Neela, Hanuman, entered the Ravana kingdom Lanka, which had previously been burnt by Hanuman. So, after throwing the peaks of the mountains into the water, they have constructed a bridge. From there, Lord has entered the Ravana's kingdom with the help of monkey soldiers. Sava Narendra Balarudra Vihara Kosta Sridvara Gopura Dasado Valabi Vikanta Nirbajyamana Dishana Dvajahema Kumbha Shringa Takagaja Kulair Redeniva Ghurna. After entering Lanka, the monkey soldiers, led by chiefs like Sugriva, Neela, and Hanuman, occupied all sporting houses, granaries, treasures, place doorways, city gates, assembly houses, palace frontages, and even resting house of the pigeons. When the city's crossroads, platforms, flags, golden water pots on its domes were all destroyed, the entire city of Lanka appeared like a river disturbed by herd of elephants. So here, all the Lord Rama, along with all the monkeys, have entered Lanka. And how it looks like? It looks like that city which is nearby the river and which has been disturbed by the elephants. So we can understand that if elephants started moving here and there, destroying everything, whatever the trees around it and everything, it will destroy. Similarly, all the monkeys have taken positions whatever they like. And here the positions are explained like sporting houses, treasuries, place doorways, gates, assembly houses. So here all the monkeys are taking position so that they can settle in down. Rakshah patistadavalokya nikumba kumba dhumraksha dhurmuka surantaka narantakadin putram prahastam atikaya vikampanadin swarganguna sarvanugan samahino atakumbhakarnam. When Ravana, the master of Rakshasas, saw the disturbance created by the monkey soldiers, he called for Nikumba, Kumbha, Dhumraksha, Dhurmuka, Surantaka, Narantaka, and other Rakshasas, and also his son Indrajit. Thereafter, he called Prahasta, Atikaya, Vikampana, and finally Kumbhakarna. Then he induced all his followers to fight against the enemies. So as said earlier, Sukadeva Goswami said, I am going to explain this pastime in very, very brief. So here it is like all the Rakshasas names are in single verse, but it was like Ravana was sending one by one to kill Lord Ram, but they were all killed by Lord Ram and his associates. So the last one was sent is Kumbhakarna. And later he said, let us all go and fight. Tvamya tudana pritanam asisula chapa prasrishti shakti sarat tomara khadga durgam sugriva lakshmana marutsuta gandamada neelangadarsha pashanadibir anivridugat. Lord Ramachandra, surrounded by Lakshmana and monkey soldiers like Sugriva, Hanuman, Gandamada, Neela, Angada, Jambavan, and Panasa, attacked the soldiers of Rakshasas, who were fully equipped with various invincible weapons like swords, lances, bows, prasas, prishtis, shakti arrows, khadgas, and tomaras. So here we can understand that Ravana's Ravana's infantry, the army of the soldiers, were fully equipped, whereas the Lord Rama's soldiers, they are just monkeys. And what are their weapons? Their weapons are like the trees and stones and other things. So how one could imagine that this monkey soldiers have killed those Rakshasas with the advanced weapons? Teni kapara gupatir avipatya sarve द्वन्द्वं वरुतं इबपत्ति रथस्वयोदैः जग्नुर्ध्रुमैर्गिरिगदेषुभिरङ्गदाद्यः सीताभिमर्शहतमङ्गलरावणेशान्. Angada and other commanders of the soldiers of Raja Ramachandra faced the elephants, infantry, horses and chariots of the enemy and hurled them against big trees and mountains, peaks, clubs and arrows. Thus, the soldiers of Lord Ramachandra killed Ravana soldiers who had lost all good fortune because Ravana had been condemned by anger of Mother Sita. So in this verse, it is explained why Ravana soldiers lost and also why the soldiers of Ramachandra have an upper hand, because Ravana has been cursed by Mother Sita. So that curse is following Ravana all the time. So how much advanced Ravana could be, how much advanced his army could be, because of the curse of Mother Sita, he has lost all the kingdom and battle. And why monkeys are winning? Monkeys are winning because they are helping, or they are under the direction of that Supreme Lord. So they are under transcendence. Because of the transcendence, they are on the upper hand, and because of the curse or the anger of Mother Sita, the soldiers of Ravana are losing their fortune. Rakshasapati Swabala Rakshapati Swabala Nashtam Aveksha Rushtya Aruhya Yankam Yanakam Atabhisasara Ramam Swasyandane Dyumati Mata Linopanite Vibrajamana Mahanam Nishitai Shuraprehi. Thereafter, when Ravana, the king of Rakshasas, observed that his soldiers have been lost, he was extremely angry. Thus, he mounted his airplane, which was decorated with flowers, and proceeded towards Lord Ramchandra. So he has sent all his captains, all his warriors, one by one, the great warriors, his sons, everyone, and everyone were lost in the battlefield. And later, the monkeys are creating havoc by killing all the soldiers of Ravana. At this point, the king of Rakshasas, Ravana, has entered the battle. So here he mounted his airplane and proceeded towards Lord Ramachandra, who sat on the effulgent chariot bought by Matali, the chariot driver of Indra. So the Indra's chariot has been given to Lord Ram. Then Ravana struck Lord Ramchandra with his sharp arrows. So the final battle has begun. Ramastamaha Purushada Purishayannaha Kanta Samakshamasata Pahrita Swabatte Tyekta Trapasya Palamadya Jugupsitasya Yachamikala Ivakratur Alangya Viryaha. So Lord Ramachandra said to Ravana, "You are the most abominable of the man-eaters." Who are man-eaters? Rakshasas. Of that, you are more abominable. And indeed, you are like their stool, because stool doesn't have any value. He said, you are like the stool of all these Rakshasas. You resemble a dog, for as dog steals eatables from the kitchens in the absence of householder. And in my absence, you kidnapped my wife. So you have cheated. So you have stole my wife when I was not there. Therefore, as Yamaraja punishes sinful men, I shall also punish you. You are the most abominable, sinful, and shameless. Today, therefore, I, whose attempt never fails, shall punish you. So here, Lord Ramachandra is saying, my attempt will never fail, and I am going to punish you. How? Like Yamaraja punishes sinful men. एवं क्षिपान् धनुषि संदितम् उत्ससर्ज बाणां सवज्रमिव तत् दृढ्यां बिभेद सोऽसृग्भमान् दशमुखैर्न्यपतत् विमानात् दाहेति जल्पति जने सुकृतीव रिक्तः. After thus rebooking Ravana, the Lord Ramachandra fixed an arrow to his bow, aimed at Ravana, and released the arrow, which pierced the heart like the thunderbolt. Upon seeing this, Ravana follows, raised a tumultuous sound, crying, "Alas, alas, what happened? What happened?" As the Ravana, vomiting blood from his 10 mouths, fell from his airplane, just as pious man falls to the earth from heavenly planets when the results of his activities are exhausted. So here an analogy is given, like all people in the heavenly planets, they will fall down when their pious activities are exhausted. Similarly, Ravana has also fell down and he was vomiting blood from his 10 mouths. Tato nishkramya lankaya yatu dana सहस्रशः मंडोदराय समं तत्र प्रारुर्दन्त्य उपद्रवन्. Thereafter, so once Ravana is fell down by the arrow of Lord Ram, all the women whose husbands have fallen in the battle, headed by Mandodari, the wife of Ravana, came out of Lanka continuously crying. They approached the dead bodies of Ravana and other Rakshasas. So all the wives of the demons have came there and they were crying. And next, Swan Bandhun Parisvarjya Lakshmane Shubirarditan Rurudu Suswaram Dina Nantaya Atmanam, striking their breasts in affliction because their husbands have been killed by the arrows of Lakshmana. The women embraced their respective husbands and cried piteously in voice appealing to everyone. So here they are lamenting. And Ha hatasma vayam nada loka ravana Kamyaya charanam lanka tadvihina parardita. O my Lord, O Master, you are epitomized trouble for others, and therefore you were called as Ravana. But now that you have been defeated, we also are defeated. For without you, the state of Lanka has been conquered by enemy. To whom will it go for shelter? So they are asking, you are named Ravana because you are the epitomized trouble. You are the most highly person who has troubled others. So you are an epitome of it. Now he's saying, because now you have defeated and this Lanka is conquered by enemy, to whom Lanka will go under shelter. Navaiveda Mahabhaga Bhavan Kamavasham Gataha Teno Tejonubhavam Sitaya Yena Nito Dasham Imam. O greatly fortunate one, You came under the influence of lusty desires. Therefore, you could not understand influence of Mother Sita. Now, because of her curse, you have been reduced to this state, having been killed by Lord Ramachandra. So one thing to understand in this verse is, because Mandodari is a great chaste wife or the great chaste lady, she can understand that about Mother Sita, who is the epitome or who is the original one, that supreme goddess Lakshmi. So she can understand about another chaste lady, and she can understand that that curse which Mother Sita has given will make sure that Ravana will lose and even lose his life. So here she is saying, therefore you could not understand the influence of Mother Sita. Because of her curse, you have been reduced to this state. So because ideally when husband is dead in the war, his wife generally will curse the other party. But here she knows that because this person has done or he has troubled Lord Rama and Sita, he is now going to be killed. Kritai vidava lanka vayam chakula nandana deha kritongam kridharanam atma naraka hetave. O pleasure of the Rakshasas dynasty, because of you the state of Lanka and also we ourselves have no protector. By your deeds you have made your body fit to be eaten by vultures and your soul fit to go to hell. So here she is saying, now because of you, now we are not having protectors. And more importantly, she is saying, you made your body fit to be eaten by vultures. So she is saying no one is going to perform funeral to you because your body is fit to be eaten by vultures and your soul is fit to go to hell. Because here she knows very well that he has troubled that Lord Ramachandra, who is none other than that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Sukha Uvacha Swanam Vibhishanashchakre Koshalendraanumodita Pitirmeda Vidhanena Yaduktam Sama Samparayikam. Now here Sukadeva Goswami is saying, Vibhishana, the pious brother of Ravana and the devotee of Lord Ramachandra, received approval from Lord Ramachandra, the king of Kosala. Then he performed the prescribed funeral ceremonies for his family members to save them from the path to hell. So here, by performing the funeral ceremonies, one might get a chance so that he might not go to hell. That is why here Lord Rama approved Vibhishana to perform last rites to Ravana. Tato dadarsha bhagavan ashoka vanikashrame kshamam saviraha vyadhi shimsha pamulamashritam. Thereafter, Lord Ramachandra found Sita Devi sitting in a small cottage beneath the tree named Shimshapa in the forest of Ashoka trees, Ashoka Vanikashrame. She was lean and thin, being aggrieved because of separation from him. So here, now Lord Ram has went to the Ashoka Vana and there he saw Sita Devi. Ramaha Priyatamam Ramaha Priyatamam Bharyam Deenam Vikshanva Kampata Atma Sandarshana Lada Vikasan Mukha Pankajam. So seeing his wife in that condition, Lord Ramachandra was very compassionate. And when Lord Ramachandra became her, she was exceedingly happy to see her beloved, and her lotus-like mouth showed her joy. So Mother Sita is very much happy in seeing Lord Ramachandra, and Lord Ram was feeling very compassionate by seeing her condition. आरोप्यारुहेय्यानां भ्रातर्भ्यां हनुमद्युतः विभीषणाय भगवान् दत्त्वा रक्षो गणेशताम् लङ्कामायुश्च कल्पान्तं ययौ क्षीर्णवृतः पुरीम्. So after giving Vibhishana the power to rule the Rakshasa population of Lanka for the duration of one kalpa, Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, placed Sita Devi on an airplane decorated with flowers and then got onto the plane himself. The period for his living in the forest have ended. The Lord returned to Ayodhya, accompanied by Hanuman, Sugriva and his brother Lakshmana. So the Vanavas of Lord has completed, and here Lord took Sita Devi in an airplane and he moved towards Ayodhya. Avakiryamana sukusumairlokapalarpitaipatihi upagiyamana charita shatadripadibirmuda. When Lord Ramachandra returned to his capital, Ayodhya, he was greeted on the road by princely order who showered his body with beautiful fragrant flowers, while the great personalities like Lord Brahma and other demigods glorified the activities of the Lord in great jubilation. So here in the next few verses, it is like Lord's welcoming to the Ayodhya will be explained. And what are the events happening there? How Bharata is performing the activities, how everyone is waiting for them. Gomutrayavakam shritva bhrataram valkalambaram mahakarunikotapya jatilam standilesayam. Upon reaching Ayodhya, Lord Ramachandra heard that in his absence, his brother Bharata was eating barley cooked in the urine of cow, barley. So one thing here we can understand is, now in this Kali Yuga, if someone gets the property of their family members, it is not sure that they might return it. So after a few days, if that person comes, they might cheat and take it over. But here, if we see how great are these brothers, so Lord Rama has given the possession of the entire kingdom to rule to Bharata. And what Bharata is doing? Bharata was ruling the kingdom from the small place outside the kingdom. So he was not enjoying the royal palaces. He was staying outside of the kingdom and he was sleeping on the ground. And now here it is explained, what is he eating? He is eating the barley, which is not even cooked in water, which is cooked in urine of a cow, and covering his body with bark of trees. So it is like he is not enjoying the opulence of a king, but he is doing austerity, tapasya, so that he can receive Lord Rama again and hand it over the kingdom to him back. So he was wearing the bark of trees, wearing matted locks of hair and lying on a mattress of kusha. So he was just having kusha grass below, and on that he was sleeping. The most merciful Lord very much lamented this. So here all the brothers were like very close, and one is giving competition to another so that they would serve each other. Bharata praptam akarnya pauratmatmya purohita paduke sirasinyasa ramam pratyudaro grajam nandigramat swasibirat gita vaditra nishwasai brahmagoshena cha muhu patadbhir brahmavadibihi. When Lord Bharata understood that Lord Ramachandra was returning to the capital, Ayodhya, he immediately took upon his own head Lord Ramachandra's wooden shoes and came out from his camp at Nandigrama. Lord Bharata was accompanied by his ministers, priests, and other respectable citizens, by professional musicians vibrating the pleasing musical sounds, and by learned Brahmanas loudly chanting the Vedic hymns. Once Bharata understood or got the information that Lord Ram is coming, he immediately took the padukas of Lord Ram and kept it on his head and moved on that way. So all through these 14 years, Bharata was not ruling the kingdom. Instead, he has kept the foot to air of Lord Ram, so that he would be serving that in order to rule the kingdom. Because he was like, when I have ruled the kingdom, how I can give this kingdom to Lord Ram? Instead, let the foot or let the shoes of Lord Ram rule the kingdom. I would help in that endeavor. Varnakaksha pataka bir हैमश्चित्रध्वजैरतैः सद् अवशैरुक्मशन्नाहै भरतैः पुरतवर्मभिः श्रेणिभिर्वर्यमुख्याभिर्भृतैश्चैव पदानुगैः पारमेष्ट्यान्नुपदाय पन्यानि उच्च अवचानि च पादयोर्न्यपतत् premna praklinna hridayekshanaih. So here, how it is explained, like how the procession was there and what is happening at that point. Following in the procession were chariots drawn by the beautiful horses with harness of golden rope. So now we can expect at least not even a thread or the rope made of thread. Now we are seeing only plastic ropes. But what was happening at that point? The ropes of the horses are of gold. So these chariots were decorated by flags with golden embroidery and other flags of various sizes and patterns. There were soldiers bedecked with golden armor, servants bearing betel nut, and many well-known and beautiful prostitutes. Many servants followed on foot, bearing an umbrella, whisks, different grades of precious jewels, and other paraphernalia befitting a royal reception. So here, everyone, the Ayodhyawasis, everyone is welcoming Lord Ram. Accompanied in this way, Lord Bharata, his heart softened in ecstasy and his eyes full of tears, approached Lord Ramachandra and fell at his lotus feet with great ecstatic love. So Lord Rama had, or Lord Bharata had received Lord Rama in a very grand way. पादुकेन्यास पुरतः प्राञ्जलिर्भाष्पलोचनः तम् आश्लिष्य चिरं दोर्भ्यां स्नापयन् नेत्रजैर्जलैः रामो लक्ष्मण सीताभ्यं विप्रेभ्यो येर्हसत्तमाः तेभ्यः स्वयं नमश्चक्रे प्रजाभिश्च नमस्कृतः. So after offering the wooden shoes before Ramachandra, Lord Bharata stood with folded hands, his eyes full of tears, and Lord Ramachandra bathed Bharata with his tears while embracing him with both arms for long time. Accompanied by Mother Sita and Lakshmana, Lord Ramachandra then offered his respectful obeisances unto the learned Brahmanas and the elderly persons in the family. All the citizens of Ayodhya offered their respectful obeisances unto the Lord. So Bharata received Lord Ram. He has offered the shoes and he was in tears. Lord Ramachandra had his both arms around him, Bharata, and he embraced and he was bathing Bharata in his tears. So just Okay. So we have only 12 more verses. We will close, I think 15 more verses. धुन्वत उत्तरासंगान् पतिं वीक्ष्य चिरागतम् उत्तरा कौशल माल्यैः किरन्तो ननृतुर्मुडा. The citizens of Ayodhya, upon seeing their king return after long absence, offer him flower garlands, waved their upper clothes, and dancing in jubilation. So as we can see in the images, everyone received Lord Ramchandra and they were dancing in jubilation because everyone loved Lord Rama like anything before he moved to his Aranyavas. Now, upon seeing him, there is a great jubilation in Ayodhya. पादुके भरतो गृह्णात् चामरा व्यजनोत्तमे विभीषण ससुर्ग्रीवा श्वेतच्छत्रं मरुत्सुतः धनुर्निषङ्गान् चतुरङ्गः सीतातीर्धकमण्डलम् कमण्डलुम् अबिभ्रत् अङ्गदः कद्भ्यं हैमं चर्माक्षरान् नृपा. So here, who is carrying what is explained when Lord Rama is coming in. Lord Bharata carried Ramachandra's wooden shoes. So we can see that Bharata is wearing, or he is wearing that skin bound dress and he is carrying the footwear. Sugriva and Vibhishana are carrying a whisk and a chamara, excellent fan. So we can see in both. Hanuman carrying white umbrella. Shatrugna carried a bow and the two quivers. Sita Devi carried water pot with water from holy places. Angada carried the sword, and Jambavan, the king of Rikshas, carried a golden shield. Pushpakastonu Shribihi Stuyamanascha Vandibihi Vireje Bhagavan Rajan Grahaischandra Ivoditaha. O King Parikshit, as the Lord sat on his airplane of flowers with women offering him prayers and reciters chanting about his characteristics, he appeared like the moon with the stars and planets. So now Lord has sat in the airplane of flowers and everyone is offering him prayers and chanting the Vedic hymns, and everyone is chanting the characteristics of Lord Ram, how it is looking. It is like on the dark night when we see a moon along with stars, how beautiful it is. In that fashion, Lord Ram is looking. Bhrataradibinan nandita sota sotva sotsavam pravishat purim Pravishya Raja Bhavanam Gurupatni Swamataram Gurun Vayasavarajan Pujita Pratyupa Pujayat Vaidehi Lakshmanaschaiva Yatavat Samupetyutaha. Thereafter, having been welcomed by his brother, Lord Ramachandra entered the city of Ayodhya in the midst of festival. Because when Lord Ramachandra is coming back, it is a great festival for the Ayodhya-vasis. When he entered the palace, he offered obeisances to all his mothers, including Kaikeyi and other wives of Maharaj Dasharatha, especially his own mother Kaushalya. He offered obeisances to the spiritual preceptors such as Vasistha, friend of his own age, and younger friends worshipped him. He returned their respectful obeisances, and as did Lakshmana and Mother Sita. In this way, they all entered palace. So here, Lord Ram is paying obeisances to the mothers, Guru, and his friends. Putran swamatu matarastastu pranam stanva ivotitah aropyanke vishincyanto bhashpaghair vijahu suchaha. Upon seeing their sons, the mothers of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, and Shatrughna immediately arose like unconscious bodies, returning to their consciousness. The mother placed their sons on their laps and bathed them with tears, thus relieving themselves of the grief of long separation. Jatanirmuchya vidivat kula vriddha samam guruhu abhyasincha yatainendram chatusindhu jaladibihi. The family priest or spiritual master Vasistha had Lord Ramachandra cleanly shaved, freeing him from his matted locks of hair. Then, when the cooperation of elderly members of the family, he performed bathing ceremony for Lord Ramachandra with the water of 4 seas and other substances, just as it was performed by King Indra. So, because Lord Rama was in Vanavas for many years, he has grew his matted hairs. So here he was cleanly shaven and Abhisheka was performed for Lord Ramachandra. Evam kritva sirasnanaihi suvasa shrakravalankritaha svalankrita suvashodbhir bratarbhir bharyaya bhabau. Lord Ramachandra fully bathed and his head clean shaven, dressed himself very nicely and was decorated with garland and ornaments. Thus he shone brightly, surrounded by his brothers and wife, who were similarly dressed and ornamented. So here Lord Ramachandra was dressed and decorated very nicely. Agrahid asanam bratra pranipatya prasaditah prajah swadharma nirata varnashrama gunanvitah jugopapitribhadramo menire pitaram chatam. Being pleased by the full surrender and submission of Lord Bharata, Lord Ramachandra then accepted the throne of the state. He cared for the citizens exactly like the father, and the citizens, being fully engaged in their occupational duties of Varna and Ashrama, accepted him as their father. So, with all this love and the austerity of Bharata, Lord Ramachandra was very, very much pleased, and he has accepted the throne to become king again. Tretayam. So in the next 5 verses, the last 5 verses, it is like how Lord ruled the kingdom is explained, because most of the times we hear the word Ramarajya. Everyone will be waiting for that Ramarajya to be happening. So that Ramarajya, how it is explained very, very briefly in 5 verses. Tretayam vartamanayam kalah kritah samo bhavat Rame Rajani Dharmegne Sarvabhuta Sukhabahe. Lord Ramachandra became king during Treta Yuga, but because of his good governance, the age was like Satya Yuga. Everyone was religious and completely happy. Dvanani Nadya Girayo Varshani Dvipa Sindavaha Sarve Kamadugha Asan Prajanam Bharatarshabha. O Maharaj Parikshit, best of the Bharata dynasty, Bharatarshabha, during the reign of Lord Ramachandra, the forests, rivers, hill and mountain states and the 7 islands and the 7 seas were all favorable in supplying the necessities of life for all beings. So now we need to perform all the sacrifices to demigods so that we will get rain profusely and we will get grains and we can live happily. But at that point, all the forest, rivers, hills, everything is happy and they were giving surplus amount of necessities for all the beings. Nadivyadijaraglani dukkha shoka bhaya klamaha mrityus chanichatam nasid rame rajanya dokshaje. when Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was the king of this world, all the bodily and mental suffering, disease, old age, bereavement, lamentation, distress, fear, and fatigue were completely absent. There was even no death for those who did not want it. So here, as we can see, if someone doesn't want death, for them, death will not happen. And there is no mental suffering, disease, old age. So whatever the original problems which we face in this human body, those were absent at that point. That is how great Lord Rama's rule is. And he is that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ekapatni vritadharo rajarsi charita suchihi swadharmam grahamediyam shikshan swayam acharat. Lord Ramachandra took a vow to accept only one wife and have no connection with any other woman. He was a saintly king and everything in his character was good, untinged by qualities like anger. He taught good behavior for everyone, especially for householders in terms of Varnashrama Dharma. Thus, he taught the general public by his personal activities. So that is why Lord Ram is called as Ramo Vigrahavan Dharmo. Lord Rama is the personification of Dharma. So here he already took a vow to have only one wife, that is Mother Sita Devi. And his characteristics were good, very, very good. Like he was untouched, untinged by qualities like anger. Whenever it is required, he will be angry, but not unnecessary. So this is the last verse of this chapter. Premna Premnanamrittaya Silena Prashrayan Vanata Sati Biyahriya Chabhavagna Bratur Sita Haran Manaha. So Mother Sita was submissive, faithful, shy, and chaste, always understanding the attitude of her husband. Thus, by her character and her love and service, she completely attracted the mind of that Supreme Lord. So here, the characteristics of Mother Sita is explained. She was a chasteful wife to that Lord, and we all know that they are that eternal father and mother for all of us. So with this chapter of the pastimes of Lord Ramachandra is completed, and there is one more chapter, but we will be taking a break in between because the next 1 month is the holy month of Kartik, and it is the most lovable month for Lord Krishna. So we are going to study Nectar of Devotion very systematically, and that will go on for the complete month. We request everyone to join that course. It will be continuing at the same time, and it will go on for 1 month. So we request everyone to join the Nectar of Devotion course starting from tomorrow, and it will be a wonderful course all through the month of the Kartik.